Buenas, hello. This is Justo Gonzalez. I want to take an opportunity to kind of share a story with you, if I may, and invite you to reflect with me. First and foremost, about 3 weeks ago, I was having some chest pains, and I did the typical pastor thing. I ignored it. Until on a Saturday morning, I could ignore it no more, and ended up as a guest of Spectrum Health in Grand Rapids for 24 hours. So let me first encourage you, whoever you are, if you're feeling some chest pains, take it seriously. Chew some baby aspirin immediately and get to an emergency room. The end of my story ends well. All the tests came back negative, and I'm doing fine. My pocketbook's hurting, but that's a different story. After this adventure, this 24 hours of unexpected residency at Spectrum, I received a survey from Spectrum Health. And as I'm answering the survey and giving back my feedback, they ask whether or not I'm Latino. The answer is, of course, seguro que sí. Of course I am. But then they want to know my race. And the options that I'm given are white. I'm not white, regardless of my skin pigmentation. Black. Puerto Ricans are made of 1/3 African, 1/3 Native, and 1/3 Spaniard, but I don't identify as black, even though I do clearly identify as that being part of who I am and the makeup of who I am. And they give other options, but none of those options take into account the cultural context and the reality of Latino people. You see, if you ask me who I am, and I hope that you would, you'd know that I'm Latino. And if you ask me my race, you'd know that I'm going to always answer Puerto Rican. Now, I'm intellectual. I know that Puerto Rican or Dominican or Guatemalteco or Mexicano isn't a race. But in my cultural context, to the Latino community, it sure is. So when others try to define us and give us options that fit their intellectual understanding but not our cultural reality, what you are doing and saying is you don't matter. Because I've already predetermined your responses. Now let me invite you to reflect upon your church. What assumptions are we making? What boxes have we already determined that certain people fit into and that we have placed as an option? And what happens when they don't fit? The only option that Spectrum Health would give me is to identify my race as other. It wouldn't even give me a little box so that I can put what other means. Some of our churches have predetermined boxes, predetermined definitions of welcome, predetermined expectations, and those are the only ones that our guests and our visitors and someone that walks into our building is allowed to fill in. And then we don't understand why we don't have people from cultural backgrounds different than our own. We don't understand why someone who's a person of color won't stay within us or among us. We sit back and scratch our heads and say, well, we're a friendly people. We're a welcoming people. We want more Latinos. We want more African Americans. We want more people with beautiful accents and beautiful skin tones that celebrate the diversity of God's world and our communities. But do we really? Do we care to take the time to ask someone who they are? To hear their story? or do we make assumptions? Do we listen with the peripheral, but inside saying, come on, move along, I ain't got time for this? We often hear of the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yet, have you heard of the platinum rule? Over the last 10 years, working in the area of cultural diversity, the platinum rule says to communities, do unto others as they would have you do unto them. It is about engaging, being in relationship, taking the time to listen, to hear what is being said, not only through words, but the unspoken. To embrace someone not based upon what you desire, but rather what they desire. So what boxes are in your life? What categories have you limited others to, and maybe even yourself? Maybe the task during this season of Lent, moving towards Easter, is to stretch ourselves, to not only include those boxes which our intellect and our experience and our comfort levels allow for, but maybe, just maybe, we could stretch a little bit, dare to create a new box, dare not to label it, and invite others to tell us what that box will be. So Spectrum Health, you won't get your survey because you didn't honor me. Have a great day.